Right now, in a basement vault in Iraq, there's a clay tablet. It's 5,000 years old, and it describes a 10th planet in our solar system. A planet that takes 3,600 years to orbit the Sunday. Astronomers didn't discover evidence of this planet until 2016. So here's the question. How did ancient Sumerians, who didn't even have telescopes, know about a planet we only just found with billion-dollar space technology? Welcome to the story that rewrites everything. Before we continue, kindly like this video, subscribe to this channel for endless, entertaining cosmic documentaries. Let's go. Act 1. The Discovery. 1849. Nineveh, Iraq. British archaeologist Austen Henry Layard is digging through ruins. His shovel hits something. Tablets. Thousands of clay tablets covered in triangular markings. Cuneiform, the world's oldest writing system. Layard had just discovered the Royal Library of Ashurbanipal. 30,000 tablets. The ancient world's Library of Alexandria. When scholars decoded these tablets in the 1,870 seconds, they weren't reading grocery lists. They were reading stories about gods who came from the sky, gods who created humans, gods with technology that sounds suspiciously advanced for 3000 BC. These gods had a name, the Anunnaki. In Sumerian, it means those who from heaven to earth came. Not those who live in the clouds, those who came from heaven to earth. Like they traveled here. Act 2. The controversial scholar. Fast forward to 1976. Russian-born scholar Zecharia Sitchin publishes The 12th Planet. This book sets the academic world on fire. Sitchin had been studying Sumerian tablets for years. Fluent in ancient Hebrew and Sumerian cuneiform, he came to a wild conclusion. The Anunnaki weren't gods. They were aliens. According to Sitchin's translation, here's what happened. 450,000 years ago, a planet called Nibiru with a 3,600-year orbit had a problem. Their atmosphere was dying. They needed gold to repair it, actual atmospheric restoration, using gold particles. Scientists today actually discuss using gold to deflect solar radiation, so this isn't crazy. The Anunnaki came to Earth because Earth has lots of gold. They landed in the Persian Gulf around 450,000 years ago. First settlement, Eridu. Here's the kicker. We've found Eridu. It's real. Southern Iraq. Archaeologists date it to around 5,400 BC, one of Earth's oldest cities. The Anunnaki mined gold, but the work was brutal. The workers rebelled. So their leader, Enki, described as the scientist, created a solution, a worker race. They created humans. The tablets say Enki and his half-sister Ninhursag took Anunnaki genetic material and combined it with Homo erectus. They created a hybrid called Lulu Amelu. The mixed worker, us. Act 3. What the tablets say. The Sumerian creation myth, Enuma Elish, is shockingly specific. Tablet VI says, "Blood I will mass and cause bones to be. I will establish a savage. Man shall be his name. He shall be charged with the service of the gods, that they might be at ease." At ease from what? Mining. The Atrahasis epic, 1700 BC, copying older texts, gets more specific. Let one god be slaughtered. From his flesh and blood, let Nintu mix clay, that God and man may be thoroughly mixed in the clay. Mix, clay, flesh, blood. This sounds like genetic engineering, described by people who had no concept of DNA. The tablets describe the Anunnaki as tall beings who flew in objects called Shem. Traditional translation, name or monument. Sitchin's translation, sky vehicle. The cylinder, Seal VA, 243 inches Berlin, shows what Sitchin claimed was the solar system. A sun surrounded by 11 celestial bodies, 8 planets, Pluto, our moon. That's 10. The 11th, Nibiru. Act 4, the skeptics. Mainstream scholars hate Sitchin's theories. Dr. Michael Heiser, who actually read Sumerian, wrote papers debunking Sitchin. He argued Sitchin's translations were terrible, that the cylinder seal doesn't show planets, just decorative stars, that Shem really means name. But here's the thing, the questions don't go away. How did Sumerians know so much about astronomy? Their base 6-0 math system, we still use it for time. They calculated planetary cycles with stunning accuracy. They knew about Uranus and Neptune, invisible to the naked eye, not officially discovered until 1781 and 1846. Act 5. The Dogon knew about Sirius B. Mali, West Africa. 1,930 seconds. French anthropologists Marcel Griaule and Germain Dieterlen study the Dogon people. The Dogon share their cosmology, their knowledge about Sirius, not just Sirius. Sirius B, a tiny white dwarf star orbiting Sirius A. Problem: Sirius B is completely invisible to the naked eye. First observed through a telescope in 1862, not photographed until 1970. How did the Dogon know? They call it po-tolo. They correctly describe it as incredibly dense and heavy. They say it takes 50 years to orbit Sirius. Actual, 50.09 years. They knew it rotates on its axis. Impossible knowledge. When asked where they learned this, the Dogon pointed to Sirius. Their god Amma came from there in a spinning arc with great noise and wind. The Dogon also have detailed knowledge about Jupiter's moons and Saturn's rings, requiring telescopes to observe. Skeptics say they learned from Western visitors, but Griaule and Dieterlen documented these beliefs in the 1,930 seconds, 40 seconds, published in 1950, before modern astronomy confirmed many details about Sirius B. How did they describe things scientists hadn't confirmed yet? Act 6, written in stone. Val Camonica, Italy, a valley with over 140,000 petroglyphs. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Some date to 8,000 BC, 10,000 years ago. What did they carve? Figures wearing what look exactly like space helmets. Round heads with antennae, rectangular bodies like spacesuits, disc-shaped objects that look like craft. One petroglyph from 4000 BC shows two figures in helmets with radio antennae. Between them, a glowing circular object. Local name for these figures? Astronauti. The Zuni and Hopi tribes of the American Southwest have rock art showing star beings. The Hopi talk about ant people who save them by taking them underground during catastrophes. These beings came from the sky. The Hopi say their ancestors came from the Pleiades. Their ceremonies align with the Pleiades movement. Lascaux Caves, France. 17,000 years ago. One painting doesn't fit, a human-like figure with a bird head falling backward. Next to it, a bird on a pole. That bird head looks like a helmet. The bird on a pole looks like a marker. The posture suggests falling or floating. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest this depicts a crash or encounter. Act 7. The Sky Stones. Sierra Leone, West Africa. 1,990s. Farmers find stone statues called Nomoli figures, dating back 1,000 to 2,500 years, possibly older. Inside some statues, embedded in the stone, small blue and white stones, sky stones. These aren't normal rocks. They're weird. Unlike any rock in Sierra Leone, strange blue color with white veins, incredibly hard. Under UV light, they fluoresce bright turquoise. Scientists analyze them. 77% oxygen with calcium, carbon, silicon. Ratios don't match any known terrestrial rock. Some contain metallic traces that shouldn't be there. Under electron microscope, the structure appears partially crystalline, partially organic. One researcher: organic mineral hybrid material that doesn't fit standard classification. Where did they come from? Local legend: they fell from the sky. Could be meteorites? Their composition doesn't match known meteorites either. Ancient glass or ceramic? That implies manufacturing technology that shouldn't have existed. Carbon dating shows the statues are at least 1,000 years old. These blue stones were embedded a millennium ago. Nobody can explain what they are. Act 8, the sudden leap. 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, something happened to humanity. The Neolithic Revolution, the agricultural revolution. For millions of years, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Simple stone tools, small groups. Then, suddenly, everything changed. 9,500 BC. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. Hunter-gatherers built a massive temple complex. Enormous T-shaped pillars, some 20 tons. Intricate carvings. This wasn't supposed to be possible. You need agriculture first, settled communities, surplus food. But Göbekli Tepe was built times before time's agriculture by hunter-gatherers. 8,000 BC. Agriculture suddenly appears worldwide. Domesticated wheat, barley, lentils in the Fertile Crescent, rice in China, maize in Mesoamerica. These are genetically modified plants. Wheat didn't exist in nature. It's a hybrid of 3 wild grasses that couldn't hybridize naturally. Someone deliberately crossbred them. Corn, natural corn, is tiny, barely edible. Modern corn is massively modified and can't exist without human cultivation. Who did this genetic modification? How did ancient people, without understanding genetics, create these crops? 4,000 BC. Writing suddenly appears in Sumer, fully developed cuneiform, capable of recording complex mathematics, astronomy, literature. No transition period. One moment, no writing. Next moment, complete writing system. 3,100 BC. Ancient Egypt explodes onto the scene. The Great Pyramid, 2,560 BC, was the world's tallest structure for 3,800 years. Aligned to true north with incredible precision, engineering marvel. All these jumps happen right when Sumerian tablets describe Anunnaki interaction with humans. Act 9. The gold question. Back to the gold? Sitchin says the Anunnaki mined gold in Africa. South Africa specifically. South Africa has the oldest, deepest gold mines on Earth. The Witwatersrand Basin contains 40% of all gold ever mined. In the 1,970 seconds, mining companies in South Africa found ancient mine shafts. Really ancient. Evidence of mining operations dating back tens of thousands of years. Some estimates, 100,000 years old. Who was mining 100,000 years ago? Homo sapiens barely existed. We were figuring out fire. The Ngwenya site in Eswatini, radiocarbon, dated to 43,000 years ago. Possibly 100,000 years. Sumerian tablets describe Anunnaki mining in Abzu, deep source, located in Africa. Someone was mining there. They wanted gold. Lots of it. Modern science discovered gold has unique properties. Excellent conductor. Doesn't corrode. Reflects infrared radiation useful for spacecraft thermal control. NASA uses gold foil on satellites. Some scientists theorize you could use gold particles in the upper atmosphere to create protection against solar radiation. Exactly what the tablets say the Anunnaki needed. Act 10. The DNA Mystery. Human Genome Project, completed 2003. Scientists found something odd. 223 genes in human DNA have no evolutionary predecessors, not found in any species we evolved from. 2013, researchers published in Genome Biology and Evolution. These 223 genes don't appear in the evolutionary tree. No matching sequences in any primate. Where did they come from? Researchers concluded horizontal gene transfer. when an organism acquires genetic material without being its offspring. Common in bacteria, but in primates, in humans, extremely rare. These mystery genes involve crucial functions: brain development, metabolism, immune response, almost like someone added them. Then there's chromosome 2. All great apes have 24 chromosome pairs. Humans have 23. Human chromosome 2 is a fusion of 2 ape chromosomes. Scientists can see where they fused. The telomeres are visible in the middle with a defunct centromere, like someone glued 2 chromosomes together. This fusion is unique to humans. Happened within the last million years. Natural mutation? Probably. But Sumerian tablets describe human creation as deliberate genetic modification. Act 11, Planet 9. Nibiru, the 10th planet, the 3,600-year orbit. Does it exist? For decades, astronomers said no. Until January 2016, astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown at Caltech announced evidence for Planet 9, a massive planet 10 times Earth's mass in the far outer solar system. They hadn't seen it directly, but distant Kuiper Belt objects had strangely clustered orbits, like something big was gravitationally shepherding them. Only explanation? A large planet we haven't detected. Estimated orbital period 10,000 to 20,000 years. Not exactly 3,600 years, but close enough to make you wonder. The outer solar system is huge and dark. Finding planets is like spotting a black cat in a coal mine at midnight. October 2017, Oumuamua, the first confirmed interstellar object, passed through our system. Bizarre cigar shape, accelerated in unexplained ways. It proved strange objects passed through our solar system. Could there be a large planet with a highly elliptical orbit? Modern astronomy says maybe. The Sumerians said yes, 5,000 years ago. Act 12, the language gift. Humans are the only species with true complex language. Abstract ideas, past and future, hypotheticals, mathematics, philosophy. Other animals communicate, but none have language like us. Where did language come from? The debate. Did it evolve gradually or appear suddenly? Most evidence supports sudden appearance, around 50,000 to 100,000 years ago. Same time frame when humans started creating art, complex tools, behavioral modernity, like someone flipped a switch. Sumerian tablets describe the Anunnaki giving humans the gift of speech. Enki taught language, writing, mathematics, law. The Tower of Babel story. All humans spoke one language, then the gods confused their speech. Linguists discovered all languages share universal structures. Noam Chomsky's Universal Grammar, a fundamental template hardwired into human brains. Why do all languages share these basic structures? Evolution? Or were we all taught by the same teachers? Act 13, the creepy correlations. Cultures separated by oceans, no contact, share creepy similarities. Pyramids, Egypt, Mexico, Guatemala, Sudan, China, Indonesia, not just big buildings. Specific structures, 4 sides. Triangular, aligned with cardinal directions or celestial objects. Cholula Pyramid in Mexico, bigger than the Great Pyramid. Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, almost identical base dimensions to the Great Pyramid. Flood myths. Almost every culture has one. Epic of Gilgamesh, 2100 BC. Massive flood sent by gods. Utnapishtim warned by Enki to build a boat, save his family and animals. Biblical Noah story, almost identical. Scholars believe it was borrowed from Sumerian sources. Hindu texts, Manu warned by Vishnu about a flood. Chinese mythology, Gun Yu and the Great Flood. Greek, Deucalion's flood. Native American tribes from Hopi to Cree flood stories. Australian Aboriginal traditions, Great Flood. Mapuche, people of South America, flood legends. Dozens of cultures, every continent, no contact, same story. Standard explanation? Local floods exaggerated over time. Alternative, an actual global flooding event. All cultures descended from survivors. Geologically, 11,600 years ago, the last ice age ended rapidly. Sea levels rose 120 meters. Coastal settlements wiped out. Survivors passed down stories. Sumerian tablets say the Anunnaki sent the flood to wipe out noisy humans. Enki secretly warned Utnapishtim. If it really happened, wouldn't survivors pass down the story? Act 14. Ancient knowledge confirmed. Modern science keeps confirming ancient texts. Sumerians described our solar system with uncanny accuracy. New planet sizes and orbits, understood Earth rotates, heliocentric astronomy. Earth orbits the Sunday. We didn't officially figure this out until Copernicus, 1543. Ancient Indian Vedas describe flying machines called vimanas, technical specifications, propulsion systems, weapons like lasers. The Vaimanika Shastra describes mercury vortex engines. NASA has researched mercury-based propulsion. The description is surprisingly close to ion propulsion concepts. Nazca Lines, Peru. Massive geoglyphs only properly seen from the air. Some lines stretch 30 miles in perfect straight lines, created 500 BC to 500 AD. Why create images only visible from the sky unless you could fly? Ancient Indian texts describe nuclear weapons. The Mahabharata, 400 BC. A single projectile charged with all the power of the universe. An incandescent column of smoke and flame, as bright as 10,000 suns, rose in all its splendor. That sounds like an atomic bomb. At Mohenjo-Daro, Pakistan, 2500 BC, archaeologists found evidence of intense heat that vitrified pottery and melted stones. Skeletons with radiation levels 50 times higher than normal. Act 15. Why this matters. If the ancient astronaut theory is even partially true, we've never been alone. Our history, religions, entire understanding of human development might be fundamentally wrong. Every major religion talks about beings from the sky. Angels, gods, sky people. What if they weren't supernatural, just advanced? Arthur C. Clarke. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. To Bronze Age humans, a helicopter is a flying chariot. A gun is a thunderbolt. A radio is telepathy. If the Anunnaki came 450,000 years ago with a 3,600-year orbit, when's their next return? The tablets talk about a return. When the gods come back, are we living in that time? In 50 years, we've gone from barely understanding DNA to editing genes with CRISPR, from telegraphs to smartphones, from first airplane to Mars rovers. Exponential growth. Are we remembering something? Approaching the level the Anunnaki had? Or being prepared for their return? Act 16. The questions. If this is all wrong, if ancient astronaut theory is nonsense, why do the correlations exist? Why do separated cultures share the same stories, architecture, astronomical knowledge? Why did civilization explode 10,000 years ago after millions of years of slow progress? Where did those 223 mystery genes come from? Who was mining gold 100,000 years ago? How did the Dogon know about Sirius B? How did Sumerians know about planets only visible with telescopes? Why do ancient texts describe flying machines, nuclear weapons, genetic engineering? Who taught us language? And the biggest question, if they were here before, are they still watching? James Webb Space Telescope, launched 2021, finds potentially habitable planets at unprecedented rates. Thousands of exoplanets discovered last decade. The universe is full of worlds. Mathematical probability of Earth being alone? Essentially zero. So where is everyone? Maybe they've already been here. Maybe they never left. December 2017. Pentagon confirmed the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, secret government project investigating UFOs 2007 to 2012. April 2020. Pentagon released 3 videos of unidentified aerial phenomena. Navy pilots recording objects defying known physics. June 2021. Office of the Director of National Intelligence released UAP report. 144 incidents analyzed. Only explained 1. July 2023. Former intelligence officer testified before Congress that the U.S. government recovered non-human craft. 2024. Pentagon established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. We're being told, slowly, carefully, that we're not alone. The question isn't, are aliens real? The question is, when did they arrive? The ancient Sumerians wrote it down 5,000 years ago. They carved it in stone. They left us the receipts. And now, with modern science, we're realizing they might have been right. Next time you look at the stars, remember, your ancestors looked at those same stars. And according to every ancient text, those stars looked back. They came from heaven to earth, the Anunnaki. The question isn't whether they existed. The question is, when are they coming back? And are we ready? If you want to dive deeper into ancient mysteries, hit subscribe. Next episode, we would explore the ancient nuclear war hypothesis and why some scientists think we've already destroyed civilization before,